Welcome back to my Volkswagen Crafter van conversion. In episode 6 you see me make my bed frame, but today I'm starting installing the bed. So the system I'm using is called a Project 2000 made by Lippert. They're an Italian company. I've got everything I need for my electric bed from Camper Interiors. If you have a look on their website, they've got lots of information about the Lippert bed, and there's all different variations you can use and also pricing. This website you can actually buy the bed frame and the slats, but they turns out to be quite expensive at £695, and I wanted to make my own system to match the rest of my interior. So these are all the fittings you get that I've laid out on the table. In the kit you've got everything you need. You've got the brackets, you've got caps, you've got this snake to accept the wiring harness to make it go up and down without snagging. This is called a height limiter, so you can set how high the bed goes and how low the bed goes. These are the plastic cap covers that secure the, these are the brackets that secure the webbing to raise and lower the bed. The end caps for the metal tracks. It does come with full instructions, but they are in Italian. There are plenty of pictures and diagrams though to help you. Metal tracks that the guides run up and down on two sides. They're made of aluminium and you can cut them to length to suit your individual project. This is the actual drive shaft with the webbing attached already. There's like grooves in it that they slot into, and they can be obviously cut and adjusted to suit afterwards. As you can see, they come in about an 8-foot length, so they can be cut to suit your project. On each end of the drive shaft they come these brackets already fixed on, so you've got to find a way of obviously fixing them to the bed frame. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut two pieces of wood, glue and screw it to the side of the bed frame, and then I can fix the brackets from underneath. So because the actual drive shaft is longer than the bed, I've got to cut the drive shaft down, but I'm trying to figure out where to place the motor. I've decided to place it nearest to my electrics, so it just makes the cabling shorter, and if I have made any mistakes with the depth, at least the motor won't be sticking up inside the bed, it'll be more towards the edge of the van. So now you can see the end of the shaft where the belts slot into, and the centre is where the motor pin goes into as well. So I fixed one side against the wood, and then the other side is where I've got to be really accurate with my cutting. So I'm going to slot one side of the motor into the shaft, and then I can measure where the spindle on the other side of the motor goes in the drive shaft. So I've just marked with a pencil, and that is where I've got to cut. I'm going to measure it again just to be 100% I've got the right measurement and sizes of the motor. After I fixed it all together, I did have to take it to pieces again because I forgot to insert this item first on the drive shaft. This is a counter, so you can set it to how far the bed goes up in the ceiling and how far it lowers down. I think the reason for this is so you don't lower the bed too much and the motor continues and then all the actual banding unravels inside. So this is now all fixed together. I did have to put an extra piece of wood underneath just to support the motor because the weight of it was sagging the drive shaft. While it's on the bench, I'm just going to have a look at all the electrics. I probably won't install the electrics until I get the bed in and my main electric system in place. All the connections are pretty self-explanatory. There's these bosses that go into each individual holder, so you can't really go wrong. While it's on the bench, I'm going to insert these runners and fix them to the bed itself. Just makes it easier. These are the runners that slot into the aluminium channel. Just to make sure I've done everything right, I've just put the bed back in the van so I can check everything out and make sure everything is in the correct place. So these are the brackets that need to be fixed against the bodywork of the van. I'm going to use some like tech screws, probably use 4 because obviously the weight of the bed, it needs to be strong. And these are the channels I've got to fix as well. They just can screw against those plates. When I knew everything was in the right place, I decided to measure all of the foam. It only took like 48 hours to come. I use a company called GB Foam. So I sent over all the measurements and also measured the bed as well. I'm using a medium density foam, but a high quality one. If you have a look on their website, they've got all types of foam to use. They can cut it to any size and shape. You just fill out the boxes and it will also give you a price as well. So back in my shed, I can now finish off the bed. I'm going to do slats on top with ventilation holes, then underneath I'm going to do the ceiling the same as the ceiling I've done in the van, with the actual LED strip going for the middle and the slatted system with the black in between. So to give the actual mattress a bit more ventilation from underneath, just to stop it from going mouldy, I've decided to drill lots of holes in the actual slats. They're about a 32mm hole, and I've done them about a spacing of say every 100mm, just to give maximum ventilation. And I'm just tidying up with a chamfered router bit, just to really make it look a little bit neater. So with all these holes in the slats now, that should give us as much ventilation as I can. I'm going to also drill some holes on the side of the bed, obviously to let the air through as well. Same again with the ceiling in the van. I've just painted the plywood black. I've gone for 50mm holes at the side just to maximise airflow. Same again, continuing the theme with the grey actual carpet. I've decided to line the outside of the bed with it. It just makes it look really neat and a more of a professional finish. This carpet is a 4-way stretch carpet, so it's really easy to manipulate round objects like the runners. So the top side of the bed is now complete. I'm now going to flip it over and finish the bottom. So now it's back in the van, and I've inserted the webbing to the brackets which I've installed in the van. This does have a manual override, so you can actually wind the bed up. You don't have to have electric, so that is what I'm using just to test it out, just in case you're wondering. This is just a little bit of, I think it's 15mm by 15mm aluminium angle. It just neatens up all the edges. This is what it looks like from the inside of the van with the actual foam mattress in place. Here I'm just experimenting with different size foam to maximise the size of the bed, but I'll be covering this in a future video. Now I'm happy with the bed. I'm just going to finish off the wall panels, again inserting as much insulation as I can. These are 6mm ply panels, obviously cutting out an aperture for the window. I'm going to use a different colour carpet for the wall panels just to make it a little bit more brighter and just break up all the grey as well. So I've gone for this, it's like a silvery colour, but it does complement the rest of the actual colour of the van as well. In between the two colour panels I'm going to install like a ply cover moulding, but I should cover that in a future video. So this is as far as I want to take it in this episode. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe, and there'll be many future videos to come on this Volkswagen Crafter build.